She is a princess. A huge wedding was set up. Everybody in that region, whoever is who and who is who of the region, everybody assembled. In India, this is a tradition, the bridegroom will come with his party. Usually you will see today, he will come riding a horse and big… They will show off their wealth and the bridegroom's people will come in full attire, showing off how they're better than the bride's people. But here, Shiva came, dreadlocked, matted hair, smeared from head to toe in ash, wearing the skin of an elephant which has just been slain, fresh skin, bleeding, dripping blood. And he came fully inebriated, completely stoned out, like that. And all his people, they're all demented and distorted beings. They're not in human form and they're making some nobody can understand kind of noises among themselves, a language that nobody can understand. And Meera, Parvati's mother, looked at this groom and she again oomad. Oh no, and she fainted.
There is a beautiful story in the yogic lore. The wedding between Shiva, the Adi Yogi, and Parvati was a grand affair. Since Parvati was a princess, the who's who of the region were invited. Kings and queens, gods and goddesses, each in their finery, one more beautiful than the other. And then came the groom, Shiva. Dreadlocked, matted hair, smeared from head to toe in ash, wearing the fresh skin of an elephant dripping with blood. He came fully inebriated, completely blissed out. His entourage was all demented and distorted beings, not of human form. They were making all kinds of noises among themselves in a language that no one could understand. Parvati's mother, Meena, looked at the groom and fainted. Parvati went and begged Shiva, "I don't mind the way you are. All I want is you, the way you are. But for my mother's sake, just show a little more pleasant self." Shiva agreed and put on a very beautiful form, attired himself well, and then came to the wedding again. When they saw Shiva transformed, they said he was a Sundar Murti. That means he was the most beautiful human being they had ever seen. He was 9 feet tall. They say when Shiva stood, he was level with a horse head. When he came down to southern India, they said he was twice the height of an average woman there, who were generally 4.5 to 5 feet tall. He was approximately 9 feet tall, the most beautiful man, and everyone was awestruck by his presence. Shiva sat down for the marriage. In India, especially with this kind of wedding, the antecedents of bride and groom are announced with great pride. They tell of their ancestry, where they come from, how pure their blood is, and trace back the whole family tree. For the bride, Parvati's father, Himavat, was the king of Himalayan mountain region. Many glorious things were said about the bride's lineage. Now they asked, what about the groom? Shiva simply sat quietly, remaining silent. He said nothing. None of his accompanying entourage could speak any recognizable language. They were making cacophonic noises. The bride's father was disgraced by this. A man without antecedents? How will I marry my daughter? Nobody knows where he comes from, who his parents are, what is his lineage. How can I give my daughter to this man? He rose up in anger. Then sage Narada, who was also a wedding guest, stepped forward with his single stringed instrument called Ektara. He plucked the single string and tung, tung, tung. The king got even angrier. What are you playing? What are you playing the Ektara for? Narada said, this is his antecedents. He has no father. He has no mother. Then what is his basis? Tung. This sound is his basis. Reverberation. He is born out of reverberation. He has no parentage, no antecedents, no lineage. He is Swambhu, self-created, a being without antecedents. The king was freaking out, but the wedding happened. The story is a reminder that when we talk of Adiyogi, we are not talking of a genteel, civilized man, but of a primal figure in a state of absolute oneness with life. His pure consciousness, completely without pretension, never repetitive, always spontaneous, forever inventive, ceaselessly creative. He is simply life itself. That is the fundamental requirement of the spiritual process. If you sit here as a mere bundle of thoughts, beliefs, and opinions, that is, with a memory stick that you have picked up from outside, you are simply enslaved to the psychological process. But if you sit here as a piece of life, you become one with the existential process. If you are willing, you can access the whole universe. Life has left everything open for you. Existence has not blocked anything for anyone. It has been said, knock and it shall open. You don't even have to knock because there is no real door. If you know how to keep aside a life of memory and repetition, you can walk right through. The way to realization is wide open. Thank you.